The NASCAR Peak Antifreeze Series, powered by iRacing.com, has officially begun. It's all in control of Brad Davies in that 11 machine. Green flag flies. He's damn near banged up though. Now the 93 is going to push the 4 of Brian Day all the way up the wall. 4 wide down the super stretch point in the turn. And now the 93-39, the 3 machine goes around. Big trouble in the back. It's the race to the win up front.
Look behind him. They're 3 and 4 wide, trying to make a push to the front as the field gains speed in turn number 1. Kenny Humphrey, if he can rip it back to the start-finish line, will win here at Daytona.
7 laps to go.
Oh,
As you love it,
here we go.
You love it. The 1 gets around, the 5 gets around. Big jump.
Welcome to Michigan International Raceway for the third round of the 2015 Club UK and Ireland NASCAR Xfinity Series here on RaceSpotTV. Will Benson shortly to be joined by Cam Walsh and our in-race reporter Rachel Whiteford. Michigan International Raceway has vied for many years to be the fastest track in NASCAR, along with Auto Club Speedway and Atlanta Motor Speedway. Recently repaved in 2012. This is one of the fastest tracks around as far as overall racing is concerned. And today, drivers of the series will be doing 125 laps around this 18-degree banked 2-mile D-shaped oval. Qualifying has just been completed, and we are waiting now for drivers to get themselves their final laps. We've got 1 minute left for qualifying. Drivers currently on their laps. There's a moderately small field here today. We've got ourselves a total of 21 drivers, and it is currently Matthew Dalton currently sat on pole position for qualifying. We've got a couple of people still scored on the racetrack, so we'll show you a little bit of the action whilst we have the opportunity. Checking in. Oh, Linus Bunchum's just crashed, so we're not going to have a look at him. But there you can actually see Richard Wilde from past the start-finish line, and he currently sits in the 5th place as he just completes his qualifying lap, running a little bit high actually there, out of down in towards turn number 1. You've also got Daniel Kraft circulating on the racetrack right now. He works himself in the 19th position. Hasn't yet set himself a qualifying time. We're right on board with him, but it looks as though he's not going to have any time to complete his lap because qualifying is now scored as complete. So then, ladies and gentlemen, we will have the opportunity now to run through your starting grid for this, the third round of the championship. And it is going to be on pole position here today, Matthew Dalton with a qualifying time of 40.180. Second place, Jake Forrester. Third place, Rob Reed. Fourth place will be Steve Barker. Then, as we roll back into row number 3, it's going to be Richard Wildey and Linus Armstrong. Row number 4, Benjamin Gregory and Stuart Pompey. Then back to row 5, it is Callum Barron and Chris Bull. Kevin Woods and Ken Bracey in row number 6, with Robert Pagani, Simon Field in row 7, Daniel Kraft, Jimmy Rung in row 8, Chris Gooden, Andy Boker in row 9, Darren Jervis and Rachel Whiteford rounding out your top 20. Michael Jones in the 21st position. And in just one moment's time, actually, we'll get a word with our in-race reporter. But hello, Mr. Cameron Walsh.
Will, how are you doing today? It's going to be a little weird. Now, a bunch of British people, and it's not a Skip Barber, so this is going to be very strange.
I know, it's like they're going to turn left and everything. But we're also going to welcome, as I say, our in-race reporter for today. That is, you know her from Monday nights, because of course Monday nights are Skippy nights. It's Rachel Whiteford. Rachel, you have qualified down the field here today. What's the hopes for the first half of tonight's race?
Well, it's going to be a long race tonight, Will, so I was hoping to get this Pepsi Max Ford Mustang through the first half, get us somewhere good towards the middle pack. Starting right back here in 19th place, it's not going to be easy, but got a lot of laps tonight, so hopefully something will come.
Number 51 car starting down in the field here today. Our in-race reporter, Rachel Whiteford. We haven't got ourselves an ESPN mailbag question, so I'll ask you one instead, Cam. Michigan.
Oh, boy.
It's fast, it's wild, it's crazy. There's technically 5 grooves worth of racing. We'll probably see drivers being able to go through wide at the start of runs. At the end, not going to be as easy. And actually, taking tyres, when you take tyres, can be so critically important.
Well, the tires really do make the car. It's a very, it's not obviously as powerful as your Gen 6 cars, but it's still got a lot of horsepower going on those rear wheels. These are pretty bare bones, tube frame cars. And especially here at Michigan. Michigan's always a fast track. It's always, as you said, a wild track. It's really going to be a good track for all these guys and girls to stretch their legs and get familiar with one another on at least the stock car track.
You can see your field just working itself then on its pace lap, and there you can see your pole position driver, Matthew Dalton, in the Verizon wireless car. And they'll be working themselves on this one solitary pay lap as we get ourselves our aerial coverage here today, brought to you by And One Design. Phil starting to come together as they work themselves down the backstretch, and there you can see there the front part of your field getting themselves nicely 2x2 to go racing here at MIS. Of course, it's a track that back in the day hosted the Champ Car World Series event, also IndyCar racing, the IRL, and of course, who could forget the incredible races that we had to finish off the season back in kart in the late 1990s. Also home to races in all three tiers of the NASCAR series. You can see the drivers now working themselves through turn number 3 and 4. Pay attention to the inside there, because it's very easy to get onto pit road. You'll see drivers probably pitting out of corner number 4. The way it's designed to be done, as you'll just see that pace car as it pulls in, very wide pit entry, but you still get that car slowed down. It's going to be fascinating to see the drivers do that a little bit later on. Pace car is in the third round of the 2014 Club UK and Ireland NASCAR Xfinity Series is underway. Good start then by the drivers as they come down towards turn number 1. Good separation through your field as they all storm down through turn number 1 for the first time. There you can see the rear part of your field. Good separation for the most part. We're right on board though with Ken Basie running himself in the 10th position right now. He just has to check up a little bit. Hits the wall there out of turn number 2. And you don't want that the first part of a 125 lap event. Basie is moving backwards very quickly in his tartan machine.
Yes, that is not working out very well. That's a bad, rough start, but as we just said, it's 125 laps, so hopefully we are going to be getting, he's going to get some green flag laps in and see if he can't recover. Shouldn't have done too much damage scraping the wall there, and you should be able to get right back, as you can just see everybody breaking away. That high line right now is what is absolutely working.
Well, you can see Rob Reed has got himself out to the early advantage. He leads lap number 1. As they can see right behind him, side by side, battle for P2, P3. Matthew Dalton of the Rising Car on the outside. On the inside is the Red Apple Ale. That's not the Red Apple Ale machine. It's someone else anyway, though.
Ineos or something, I don't know.
It is the number 9 car of Simon Barker. They're battling for P2, P3. So we'll zoom it in then to have a look. And there you can see it is the Ineos car, looking very similar to the Red Apple Ale car. But he's moved himself ahead now. Dalton started P1. Now down into that 3rd position, and is the Doogie Coin running himself in 4th position. Many wows, because you have Linus Armstrong starting this race in P6, already up into P4.
That Doji car is, well, first of all, I love to see it. Second of all, it's doing way better than the real car, which is something that I always love to see. So hopefully that Doji car can pull away from it. That's already my fan favorite there, and I literally know nobody here.
Well, and of course, let's not forget Doji Coin this year. Probably one of the success stories of all the motorsports. Getting that car funded for a number of NASCAR Sprint Cup races this year with Josh Wise behind the wheel. So you can see then the rest of your field storming down. Still a little bit too wide racing going on in your mid-pack. We're right along board with this driver is Daniel Kraft running himself in P12. And we can just see that on the inside. The number 19 machine working down to the inside. That is Ken Basie, despite the fact he's got that front right damage in that Burberry car. It does look as though he is still on the move.
Well, like I said, these cars, if you keep the wheels straight, they should be okay. Now, these cars aren't that aero dependent as the Gen 6 cars, though somebody's riding the wall up there. Car number 16, Kevin Woods, is riding that wall. That is definitely not what you want to do in that Chevrolet right there. Or is that a Mustang? I think that's a Mustang. It is a Mustang. That's unfortunate. There aren't too many Mustangs out there.
You have offended so many people.
I know, I did. So anyways, that Ford, having ridden that wall there for a little bit, it's definitely going to be out of that draft. Not going to be that good to recover. I'll actually take a look here and see what kind of damage we've got going on. But just saw light right damage, but the wheels are on. It should be, he's got actually, that car is not a healthy car.
Yeah, having a look at Benjamin Gregory then, he's got himself a car just to his outside as he works himself through corner number 3 and 4. Once again, there you can see him side by side right now in that number 99 machine with Chris Bull in the 002 car. As they work themselves past start finish line, we'll get that ticker running along the top of your screen. 6 laps scored complete, couple of beating and bangings in the early going, but it does look as though everyone is through. Oh, we got a bit more beating and banging there. Ken Basie alongside Chris Gooden, actually, they're battling for position. And that number 44 car, the number 92 machine, they are nose to tail right now, battling for position. There's Pagormi. Pagormi's coming down the racetrack. He's got that number 67 car, actually, right behind you. We'll have a look from the rear, and that is the view that Robert Pagormi has from the rear right now. Very close battling. This is down in P13, P14 in the racetrack.
Yeah, and he's sticking that nose down underneath that Energizer car. Jake Forrester there, and he's actually going to make up that position. He should be able to make up the position on the exit here at Michigan. Michigan, of course, once everything kind of wears in, that outside line is going to fade away slightly as everyone ducks back in. This is kind of a high draft track, a lot of throttle applied. So Robert Pregordy picking up that one position there, and we'll see if that Mustang can keep going to the front, as I don't think there are many Mustangs up front.
No, there you can see Forrester is going to look down to the inside as they work themselves out of corner number 2. Now that wall does jut out on the exit of turn 2. Very easy to push high. You see it quite a lot in IndyCar competition. The driver on the outside having to do a lot of steering turning at the exit of the corner. He's also got the number 67 car. That is Callum Barron in play as well. This is down at the rear of the field. In fact, they will go 3 wide to work themselves out of the corner just for a moment. Are they going to go 3 wide again? It looks as though, yes, they are. Victory formation there as they work themselves behind our start-finish box, and there you can see them. Well, that is a nice sight to see. Will they make it through the corner, though? It does look as though that 44 car looked to go down to the inside. The room is blocked for him. He looks down to the low line, but then you've got the number 92 car, which is driven by Robert Pregordy, right there in the mix, and they'll be side-by-side still coming out of the corner. So out front, however... Oh, we got a car in the wall. First caution of the day, then. No, we're not. We stay green.
See, oh, we do stay green. It should be yellow. Should be coming out pretty soon because there's a stopped car out on the track.
But because of the fact it was so far off the racing surface, we'll probably be able to get away with that one. So yeah,
maybe not. Okay,
do remain green because it is off the racing surface. We do remain green. However, you've got 2 drivers on pit road right now. There you can see one of them. It's Jake Forrester. You've also got Chris Bull as well. He is down in the 18th position. 2 drivers on pit road, and then you've got yourself Jimmy Young. And he has scored multiple laps down right now in the 19th place in that great Clips car. Out front, though, side by side, 3 wide racing down the back straightaway there, Cam.
Yep, let's take a look here. Going back, I was finding out what happened at that incident there. It was actually a 3-car incident. But, yeah, these guys are starting to get pretty racy here now that the field's bunched up since that incident.
Yeah, and let's try and get a look back then at Forrester. And this was, well, this is working himself down towards the start-finish line. So we'll get this one. We'll roll our camera through turn number 1 and 2. Of course, these drivers are battling mighty hard. And there you can see the number 44 car of Jake Forrester. Yes, Cam?
It's actually up a couple of places. This was incident. He was collected. I believe it was Chris Bull and another car were involved, and Jake hit Chris Bull's car as he was spinning out.
Well, we will stake it with this one for just one moment, then we'll get ourselves this incident. However, we have had 10 laps of today's event scored complete. We are still green, despite that first incident. And we actually saw the number 99 car, I believe that was Benjamin Gregory. He got very high out of turn number 4. And I think this set up this huge concertina effect. And you talk about that draft and how critically important it is, Cam. I think that once you get this field into close proximity, it does all of a sudden make it a hell of a lot more dangerous. And you will see this over the course of today's event.
Well, it's not just that. It also mixes in the degrading tires, as since they have updated the tire model, it's a lot more degrading as far as the tires go. So you start getting this high draft situation where you're coming off the corners 2 wide, 3 wide. It can definitely get very interesting.
Out front, though, here you can see it's very close in the battle for the race lead. Side-by-side racing. As you got Rob Reed, he is going to go to the point in that number 22 car. No, he's not. Baker's going to work around the outside. And Steve Barker's car is incredibly impressive on that outside line there, Cam. Very impressive to see that working. Of course, you did talk about that will fade over the course of the run. But if you're on the outside, you can be a lot more aggressive coming onto the throttle. If you're on the inside, the last thing you want to do is push up into another driver.
Well, absolutely. You have to be careful. You don't want to push up into another car. You don't want to loosen your rear end because it's obviously that banking is going to be a little more aggressive. Of course, it's the same banking all the way through, but the inertia riding that high line, at least here at Michigan, it allows for a much easier exit. So that high line is popular right now, but I see when they're running by themselves, they're running about the middle line, pretty much through the top 4. That's a pretty standard line here at Michigan, and it's really, actually, now that everyone's kind of in a pack, they're all taking the same lines.
Yeah, there you can see Doji Car then up into 3rd place now from his 6th place starting position. That is Linus Rumstrom just behind her. You have got yourself Benjamin Gregory running himself side by side there with the number 69 car of Chris Gooden. This is the battle for P9, P10 on the racetrack. They work themselves out of corner number 4. We ride along board with Chris Gooden as he comes out of the corner. And there you can see Benjamin Gregory, that high line still working for these drivers as they complete another lap around here. Then let's check in just ahead of them. And you've got yourself a three-way battle right now with Richard Wildy. He runs in P6 on the racetrack. Then you've got P7 with Ken Bracey, and then P8 is Stuart Pomfrey, running pretty closely. And again, Bracey's car, despite the fact that he had that contact in lap number 1, still moving to the field. This will be encouraging. If we get a caution, he can get some repairs to that car. Does look, it's got a very fast race machine underneath him.
Yeah, I can only imagine what it would be if it was all working together. As you can see that he has to get out of the throttle there, and that allows Kevin Bracey to get by, and actually that allows Stuart Pomfrey to get by. So just as we started talking about him, Will, we kind of messed up his line there. Obviously, we'll have to talk about somebody else so then they can get those positions back. But no, he ended up that rear end started kicking out. I think maybe 15 is a little early to start having these tire issues, but maybe with that damage, you just don't know where that tire wear is going to be, I guess.
And there you can see Richard Wildy as well. He's looking down to the inside, so work themselves down in towards turn number 3 and 4 in that number 70 Jex machine, and he gets himself past that 36 car of Pomfrey. He's just not stable on that outside line at all. Having to check up for a second lap in succession, and he is falling down, back down to where he started. That's P8 on the racetrack.
Yes, that red Coca-Cola machine starting to get that rear end kicking out on him a lot. As you can see him, he's absolutely fighting the wheel through the middle section of the corner, and then of course you're keeping on your throttle all the way through the exit. But he's just not able to keep the car playing nicely, at least to where he wants to be right now.
We've got Jimmy Young. He's just spun himself on pit road. We'll get ourselves another look at that one. So it's potentially an early stop. I know he was scored laps down, but let's have a look then. Try and figure out what happened to Jimmy Young. You see he's coming down on towards... Does he come onto pit road? Yeah, he does come onto pit road. Tries to slow it down and completely messes. He gets onto the grass there, smashes into the attenuator. Now, that is not the first time I've seen that. Of course, many people will know me being an IndyCar racer. The amount of times people do that in IndyCar competition, coming out of turn number 4, because you've got to be aggressive here. There's a lot of times we gained and lost there, Cam. But to come onto pit road and then that car just going completely sideways on him as he comes in, we'll zoom it in. And does he... I think he destroys the cone. No, he finds a way of getting between the cone and the attenuator, but he couldn't get back in time to sacrifice... didn't sacrifice the cone, but sacrificed his car instead.
Well, I mean, that seems about a valuable trade-off. It is a Chevrolet after all. So, no, that rear end kicking out on that car, exiting turn 4 there. It looked like he had maybe an opportunity to save it by peeling it right, but he was still fighting off the rear end there, and he ended up putting a really bad part of that car into that attenuator, as you call it. We'll call it the tire barrier. So, yeah, that's just going to be... I think that's actually, well, it shouldn't be race-ending damage, but you never know.
Stuart Pomfrey in that number 36 machine. We talked about him earlier on. Has he been able to get himself a little bit better? He's down in the 8th position, but he is catching up, though, to Richard Wildy just ahead of him as they battle for P7 on the racetrack. Lap number 19 of 125 will be scored complete this time by... Oh! Not quite sure what Pomfrey decided to do there into turn 1.
Oh, I'm looking at a replay, that's why. Yeah, let's see here.
He hit the wall. That's a simple answer.
He hit the wall, that's a simple answer. Well, I'm looking through right now, and yeah, that's definitely not the proper entry there. That's a weird spot to have that happen, seeing as you have full control of the car before you get into that turn. Obviously, you just wanted to arc it wide and get the line, but that just didn't work out for him.
And it's not even like at Phoenix where the wall comes in. There's no way really of...
No.
It's a bit of
it's a wide track. I don't know. That's unfortunate for him, but oh well, I guess.
Well... by the way, I say attenuator, you say tyre barrier. You say Chevy, we say Vauxhall, just to let you know.
Okay, they're Opals out there too, I think.
Well, yeah, no, if you're Linus, they're Opals. In the UK, we call them Vauxhalls.
Whatever they are.
Have you ever heard of a place called Luton?
Luton? No, I've heard of gluten-free. What does that get me?
Luton is a city near London. It's actually off junction 9 of the M1 motorway. Motorway interstate, same thing.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's when they make Vauxhalls. Just never go there. It is the most soul-destroying place in the universe.
Okay, I'll keep that on my list of places to not go.
We've got a couple of people onto pit road. Here you can see Andy Baker making his journey down towards pit road. I don't think there's any damage to that car. He did get onto pit road okay, as he's going to come back out onto the racetrack by the look of it. And they can see Stuart Pompey as well, having come down on towards pit road. Now, 22-second stop there for Pompey. It's a 14.7-second stop for Andy Baker, back out onto the racetrack in his Bass Pro car, and deciding that he was just going to come back onto the racetrack there. Couldn't be bothered to use the apron.
Well, you know, I mean, he merged right away. That's obviously, you always try to merge on the backstretch. He actually made up a position over Stuart Pompey there.
Merge on the backstretch!
Yes, merge on the backstretch. I thought you were yelling at me. So, don't scare me like that. And so, I'm sure Stuart Pompey not too happy about that, but, you know, it's one of those things, I suppose. But, you know what? It's an American car. You're an American track. You can just do whatever you want. You can...
Well,
right?
No, you can't do right. You've always got to do left. Unless you're unless you're at Watkins Glen.
I'm sorry.
By the way, we're going to zoom it in on Michael Jones, and he's only caught my wad because that is the most neon I think I've seen in a very, very long time there. We have got his sponsors on there, and we'll come to those in just one moment. But I do see a smiley face, and then I see some Space Invaders on that. That's a pretty cool car there, Cam.
It is. It reminds me of Matt Pawelski's Indy car there with the Nyan Cat on it there. It's actually the same colors, which is pretty funny.
Oh, yeah.
But that's a very 1987 right there. That's good.
We like that.
Hotline. Very Hotline Miami right there.
Yes. Not to confuse with other hotlines, which we're not going to talk about, yes.
No.
But
I like the driver's suit, too. That's a lot of pink.
Yeah, we're right along board, actually. Oh, we see a little bit of smoke on the racetrack as well, actually. So to be serious for a moment, we do have a driver who's gone very slowly, and that is Benjamin Gregory. And this will bring out the caution potentially.
Yes, it will.
No, it won't. Still.
Unless they have cautions disabled.
Unless, no, what it is, it's still the holiday season. So, oh, there we can see Benjamin Gregory get turned around there. We just caught the end of it. We'll get ourselves a full replay. Benjamin Gregory had contact with the number 92 car, Robert Pagorni. So we'll get ourselves another look at this one then as they work themselves down through corner number 1 and 2. There we can see, and we'll slow it down as they work themselves out of turn 2, down the back straight away, and kaboom.
Yep. Just one of those things of taking that low line, the car getting away from him there. Robert Podgorny not making the corner there as it started going away. Clipped that outside and just looked like Benjamin just had absolutely nowhere to go. I'm not too sure if there are cautions.
We will find out that one at some point soon. But there we can see Pagorny work himself out the corner, checking up, hitting the wall. There you can see Benjamin left-hand side making contact. Well, Pagorni's day is pretty much...
And actually, Benjamin actually came back on track and hit Stuart Pomfrey's car.
Wow, so we need to try and figure out what happened to that one. So Benjamin Gregory...
Oh, and Stuart Pomfrey lost an engine.
Not a happy bunny potentially right now. So we'll try and find out what just happened there to Benjamin Gregory. But you will have to bear with us for one moment. But Benjamin Gregory is... There we can see Stuart Pomfrey. He will be somewhere in this mix. We'll try and get a look at it. But Benjamin Gregory isn't the happy... Well, does seem to be causing a couple of people a couple of issues right now here, Cam.
Yeah, that didn't work out too well. Gregory's... yeah, that just didn't work out at all. But Stewart's not having a good time at all, just sitting on that that bottom side of that apron there. You know, getting passed by cars, exiting the corners, getting crashed by people coming back on track. Just not having a good day.
No, he's not. So we'll just have a look there at Stuart Pomfrey. We'll come back to it shortly. Whether we can figure out what happened with Stuart Pomfrey.
It was right after Gregory's incident with Podgorny. He went off track and came back on.
There you can see Pomfrey going at around at, well, we'll get this speedometer chart up.
I got
2 miles an hour. Yes. Down to 1 mile an hour at some point soon.
And we're coming down. Oh, we're up to 3. Yep, as we come back to the 1927 Indianapolis 500 here, our leader is 2 miles an hour.
Wow. So we'll get you an update on Pomfrey whenever we can. However...
I think he's just going to leave the car there.
Yes. We'll talk about that one perhaps a little bit later on. Just trying to figure out what happened to Pomfrey. See. Carry on.
We actually have a 3-pack of cars here. Daniel Kraft, Ken Bracey, and Chris Gooden there. Ken Bracey is going on the inside of Daniel Kraft just to bring it back to the race, just for a little bit. I know the race isn't that important, but, you know, we'll get back to it for a little bit.
Well, there you can see the gaps then as they work themselves down in towards 3 and 4 one more time. And, well, it does that. Like you see, that high line is the preferred line by some of these drivers just because they're getting the better run off the corner. But it does look as though that Bracey's going to get himself a very good run as they work themselves out of corner number 4 down towards the start-finish line. And it will be the 93 car who technically is ahead at the line like last time by. Back down towards turn number 1 they come. Through turn number 1, still side-by-side racing. We go on board then with Ken Bracey once again as they can say hello, and he's got himself now up 1 position. Daniel Kraft down into P6 on the racetrack cam.
Yeah, and Ken Bracey, it's going to be very deciding what he decides to do. Is this was a race between it's Chris Gooden's car, I'm sorry. But between Ken Bracey and Daniel Kraft, that blue car of Chris Gooden's really controlling what happens, who he stays behind and who he pressures. Now, of course, he's picked the low side, as we do have a car going down pit lane. I'm almost wondering if... I think it's still too early to pit.
Yeah, that's Chris Bull. He's not having himself a good day today. He's currently scored 4 laps down to your race lead.
Yeah.
And he's made himself already 1 pit stop, so you can tell that he is not having a good day. Probably just bringing that car on towards pit road to go and get himself a new hot dog, and we'll be back onto the racetrack soon. But there you can see your race leader, 30 laps out of 125, scored complete as they work themselves past start finish line. We will step aside for just 1 moment, and we'll be back with continuing coverage in just a couple of moments' time. You're watching RaceSpotTV.
The NASCAR Peak Antifreeze Series powered by iRacing.com has officially begun. It's all in control of Brad Davies in that 11 machine. Green flag flies. He's damn near banged up though. Now the 93 is going to push the 4 of Brian Day all the way up the wall. 4 wide down the super stretch point in the turn. And now the 93, 39, the 3 machine goes around. Big trouble in the back. It's going to be the race to the win up front.
Look behind him. They're 3 and 4 wide, trying to make a push to the front as the field gains speed in turn number 1. Kenny Humphrey, if he can rip it back to the start-finish line, will win here at Daytona.
7 laps to go. As you love it,
here we go.
You love it. The 1 gets around, the 5 gets around. Big jump.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to show you immediately a replay of Rachel Whiteford. This is working with herself out of corner number 2. We will slow it down just for maximum humility, and there you can just see scraping the wall on the exit of turn number 2, Cam, losing herself a position to number 12 car, and she's actually overshot her pit box just a moment ago as well.
Yeah. I'm about to say, not doing a good time. Well, you can lose track of these sorts of things. Your pit stall could be different before the qualifying section, as has to back that up and bring it back into the spot there. So that's just. I think humility is a different word, Will. But you know what? Get a new car, get the new wheels, get everything up and going, and I don't think there's a caution. So therefore, oh wait, is there a caution right now?
Is there a caution right now?
I think.
No.
I see a yellow flag. No?
Okay, we might have a yellow flag. We'll find out. We're just keeping it Rachel Whiteford.
There's a marshal just flailing a yellow flag at me. I don't know what. Yeah, there's a pace car out there.
Yeah, we're apparently under caution.
Well, apparently nobody's yielding to the caution. Everyone's just blowing right by the guy.
Well, we can't see anything. Now we can. Now let's slow it down.
There we go. All right.
Top quality broadcasting. This is Cam.
I know. Right? Well, hey, you got to cut your teeth somewhere, Will. This is actually. It's going to sound weird, but this is actually my first stock car announcing. We've done IndyCar, and of course, you've never done IndyCar before.
No, I know.
But, hi.
What happened, Rachel?
Yeah, sorry, no, it's been a tough race so far for the Pepsi Max Ford Mustang. We've just had a really tough start. Car's been wicked tight. We've just had some wedge in on the pit stop. This thing is just pushing so hard at the track. It's horrible. Kept slapping the wall out of 2. Slapped it one too many times, losing too much time, so I had to force a pit stop, and fortuitously even, I happened to actually basically be in the pits when the caution came out, so I'm going to wave around, be back on the lead lap with a perfect race car. Crew chief's made a great call on the wedge, some down pressure on the left front, so this could be from ashes to a phoenix, basically, for us.
Well, you forgot to mention one little thing there, as we are going to get the pit times up. You see
good thing to not mention.
Read the cars onto pit road. So it's Weed coming onto pit road. You can see Dalton coming into his first pit stall as well. All the cars cocking their legs to the left-hand side, which, unless you are the Dogecoin, is completely unnatural. And then you can see right side tyres, left side tyres for all of these drivers. And we expect Reed to come out first. It is, in fact, no, it's not. It's going to be Barker out of pit road first. Second place will go to Reed. Third place to Dogecoin. 4th place will go to Matthew Dalton as they cycle through. It's actually a very good stop for Ken Racy. As you can see, the rest of the cars coming through on your screen right about now. Rachel. What happened with you missing your pit stall by about half a mile?
In practice, we were given a pit stall at the front of the pit entrance, exit, sorry. It was on running out of the third stop, so here's me going down pit road, a little bit depressed with the performance of the Pepsi Max Ford Mustang today, and expecting it to be there, so I just drove straight past without realising that I was qualified in 19th, so there you go.
Well,
so I was right.
You are at the head of the field for the moment. Of course, you are going to get yourself the wave around this time by to get yourself back onto, is it onto the lead lap?
It will be indeed.
Yeah, well, it's showing us 2 laps down on ours, but it should be. Yeah.
No, it's 1 lap down on mine.
Oh, okay, it's just our graphics. Our graphics suck. You're watching RaceSpotTV, ladies and gentlemen.
Brought to you by...
But your aerial coverage today is brought to you by Goodyear. Everything Goodyear learns making tyres to the world's top racing series inspires what they roll into yours. Goodyear, more driven.
Do they even have a blimp anymore?
Yeah, for NASCAR they do.
Okay. I saw the Goodyear blimp once. I have a picture. Don't hit the pace car!
Oh no, they retired one of the blimps. I don't know if they retired all of their blimps or not, though.
Yeah, I thought they got rid of one. Oh, maybe they retired one. I saw the Fujifilm blimp once.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, that was crazy. But no, going back to those pit stops there, Steve Barker and Rob Reed, what ended up happening there is Rob Reed, after they put the car down off the jacks, he didn't have the car revved up, he just put it into gear and he drove away. Steve Barker was waiting for them to get down on the thing. He had a clutch in and he's had on the throttle. He kicked that car away, which is what you're supposed to do, and that's what happens. He picks up this spot on the pits, and now he has the opportunity to pull away on the track.
Well, there's your top 10 as it stands. It's Barker from Bromstrom, from Dalton, from Racy, from Kraft, from Gooden, from Jones, and Barron from Woods. So, Rachel, first restart of the day coming back up. You've cranked some wedge into that thing. Did you expect this first run to be as long as it was?
Partly yes, partly no. This track's quite large, so we've got a lot of runoffs. It's very easy for cars when they're getting loose on this track to spin off into the infield. There's a hell of a lot of infield, so it's yeah, not too unexpected, but it's a pretty good run we've had. So about a fuel run. I think I pitted when it was exactly optimal, but there you go. If I'd have stayed on one lap though, probably would still be on the lead lap, having pitted with an under yellow. So who knows? But things can get better.
Well, hopefully they will for you, as I believe you are now just going to get yourself waved around the pace car. So we'll see you a little bit later on. Rallying race reporter Rachel Whiteford. We're going to step aside for just one more moment. We'll be back with a restart after this.
What are you going to reset your overlay?
Yeah,
Okay.
I have left the sound on because I can't.
Thanks.
You know. Get ready for Neo Endurance on RaceSpotTV. Watch it!
Yeah.
Watch it! Watch it!
Gotta love Spa. Spa's great.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I'm not a big fan of Spa, not gonna lie.
It's okay. It's not like that. It's a bit like Road Mode. Road Mode is fun. It's 9 hours.
It's just, yeah.
Let's go to Radio, let's go to America, let's go to War, let's go to Stamford.
I didn't know there was a song. Spa song. But, no, the pace lights are out, so I hope we're back in time.
Yeah, we will be. Don't worry.
Oh, you just ran the one Neo commercial. Alright, well, watch Neo series. We're gonna be there like January 17th, 16th, whatever it is. It's there. We got the Gathering of Tweakers. That's a cool thing with the GT3 cars, and then you have, of course, the main series on Sunday, as
that pace car is going to
Sunday.
make its journey back down on towards pit road. Matthew Dalton, if you don't pay me, this is what you get. Pace car is going to work its journey onto pit road. 40 laps scored complete here at Michigan. Green flag back in the air.
Barker once again getting a great start. He's obviously on the ball today, but it will be with these new cars, new tires, new repair damage adjustments made. We'll see if Barker will be able to hold Rob Reed off, as everybody's shifting down too wide in the low lane right now.
There you can see then, second place driver is Rob Reed as they work themselves out of corner number 2, down towards the back straightaway once again. As you can see behind them, very close racing as well. The number 93 car battling with Bracey and Gooden. Battle for P5, 6, 7 on the racetrack. 2-1 racing behind there. As you can see, cars all swarming down through turn number 3 and 4. Oh, we've got a car a little bit up high as well. But it looks like everyone is going to get through that one without any further into them. Very quickly, because I promised I would say it, number 1 car being driven by Michael A. Jones is brought to you by... Rewind back to the old school and demonic possessions recordings. There we are. Carry on.
Okay.
Richard
I don't even
Wiley's
know where to
going-
go from that.
Richard Wiley's
Rob
going
Reed
side
is-
by side, and Rob Reed's got Steve Barker 3 turns and second behind him. Carry on. It's okay. There's only a little bit of action going on right now.
Only a little bit.
This is
Rob
why we
Reed's
don't get
up to the
NASCAR
front.
World Championship Series.
Well, first of all, it's not called the World Championship. Anyways, look.
Okay,
Rob
whoa,
Reed
whoa,
is
whoa,
waiting
whoa,
to
whoa,
pass on the
whoa. Okay,
inside.
this is why we don't get the Peak Antifreeze NASCAR Series powered by iRacing.com.
There you
Check
go.
it.
Get in, or whatever you guys say. So yeah, no, Rob Reed made a good move down to the inside, getting past Steve Barker, who was trying to hold that outside line. I think he's been doing so good right now. And so good. Somebody said that in the YouTube channel. Hello, YouTube channel. There are only 9 of you out there right now, but we love you. So anyways, Rob Reed doing a very good job trying to keep that Steve Barker red, I want to call it the Apple Reds car. The Enyo's car.
It's Red's Apple
behind
now,
him.
in our opinion.
It's red, but it's going to be. We'll give him a paint for it. Is Linus Braustrom there is doing a good job keeping it there in 3rd place in that Dogecoin car, as actually Chris Good and Daniel Kraft and Richard Wild are still fighting for positions, actually, even through this caution and whatnot.
Yeah, and for once, we've actually been paying attention to the action, because we were actually just showing it there on the viewers' screens. As they can see, P7, we go back on board of him. It is Chris Gooden, and right alongside him is that number 93 car. As there you can see our gyro cam working for the first time here today. As that number 93 car, well, he's going to be alongside, or to quote Tim Terry, there will be side by side in towards corner number 1.
I don't even know who Terry is, but I already know that reference. Kiss Gooden in that, is that a Forza? No, it's main performance. Okay, don't worry, guys, we got this. I can read. Now, what is, Will, I have to ask, the number 19 car of Ken Bracey, who is currently side by side from the 93 car of the UK and IRL, we actually have, was that Matthew Dalton messing up that, well, I don't want to say messing up, but having to back way out of that corner in that Verizon Wireless Mustang as he creeps up way at the top. But what is a Burberry?
Burberry, I don't know how to explain this to you. It's kind of a brand. It originally, once upon a time, it was a very posh brand. However, do you know what the word chav is?
Chav, kind of?
Right. Basically, all the scum on the earth who like to watch things like the Jeremy Kyle show. And about 10 years ago, they decided that they all wanted to wear fake Burberry everything. So the idea of tartan and the Burberry name all of a sudden became synonymous with tackiness. However, it is still an amazing brand. Please don't sue me, Burberry, if you are for some reason listening to this. As the number 19 car does go side by side with Matthew Dalton, 2 wide, 2 deep, so let themselves down the front straight away.
Yeah, and that Burberry car, we're up to 11 watchers on the YouTube channel now. They're loving the inspiration here as the 93 car dives down to the inside line. Going to try that inside line. Daniel Kraft on the inside of Matthew Dalton. Dalton, I thought, was going to go right through, but he is having issues now with that degradation on that Ford Mustang car. As now Chris Gooden is going to be able to pick up that spot on the inside as well. Ken Bracey still leading this 4-pack of cars as that is Richard Wild is slowly creeping in that pink fire suit. He's going to be coming in and starting to make it interesting pretty quick here. So Burberry, kind of like almost like a Martini brand clothing sort of thing, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. I was wondering why the car was in pinstripes.
Yes, it's tartan, by the way, not pinstripes.
Tartan, whatever.
And you know, of course, in Scotland, every family has its own tartan.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
you see, ladies and gentlemen, on RaceSpotTV, not only do you get world-class commentary, you also get some very, very useful tips. For example, Verizon, official sponsor of the Verizon IndyCar Series, and also they are referenced 3 different times in the Sunday Night Football intro, and I guarantee they'll be referenced 3 times in the Super Bowl 49 intro.
Wow. That's very good for them. They're called Verizon where you are, right? They're not like some
No. They're Vodafone
name?
In the UK.
Vodafone. Oh, that's right. They're Vodafone
They're
where you guys are.
technically the same company, yes.
Yeah. No. I know. They just have different names. I was listening. They were talking about as Chris Gooden goes to the inside of that Verizon wireless car. That Verizon, he just keeps creeping on up to that wall. One of these dimes that is just gonna come out and get him. For some reason, these Ford Mustangs, they've just been getting loose off of exit and creeping into that wall here at Michigan. I don't know if that's setup related or what, but that's just not doing good. As Daniel Kraft getting the draft might have thought of going to the inside of the number 19 car of Ken Bracey, but just thinking better of it as this seems to be the pack to go.
Oh yes, indeed. If you have a look then from the rear of 4th place driver, which is Ken Bracey, the captain himself, and Daniel Kraft is 3.5 tenths of a second. To our UK viewers who haven't seen an NASCAR race before, this isn't the same type of Ford Mustang that Richard Hammond was driving this weekend in Patagonia, whatever they call it, basically Argentina and Chile. It's an up-to-date Ford Mustang, and this one I believe came out in 2013, I want to say, 2012 to 2013.
Yes, the Class B cars, as they call them. And, of course, this isn't a Ford Mustang at all. It's a steel tubular frame body that's a spec chassis with a... Anyways, this is based on cars that are from, like, around 2011, 2012. These are kind of the older model cars, and the reason why they're the older model cars is because they really wanted a cheaper alternative, I guess. Well, there's no cheap motor racing, but the ability for younger drivers in enterprising teams to get their teeth in following the NASCAR series, whichever you want to call them, Winston or Sprint, or now who's their...
Well, no, you can't smoke because we just said the word Winston.
No,
Please
we
don't
can't
smoke.
smoke. I know. Please don't smoke
It
because you can't.
was Nextel, and then Nextel was
Nextel,
rolled
and then it was
into
Sprint.
Sprint.
Yeah.
And Sprint leaving at the end of 2016. I have no idea. I would say Verizon.
Oh,
but
I don't
Verizon's
think
got
they've
IndyCar.
announced it.
They
Yeah,
haven't.
they haven't announced it. They announced the Xfinity series, which is what we're watching right now, the Xfinity series. Xfinity, of course, a part of, Comcast.
Yeah,
which
no
isn't
one from
necessarily
Comcast
a-
is going to be able to listen to this.
I don't think they have the streaming bandwidth to connect. Anyways, look, which I'm using Verizon, by the way, so Verizon, there we
Is
go.
it Fios?
It is Fios, yes.
Oh, we are.
I know, right?
I know
Fiber
all about
optics.
American internet connections.
Right? Will, knowing more about internet connections than I think most would care. But no, the wife works from home. She needs that stuff, so I can totally use it. As this pack of cars from 4th on back, they're still fighting for position. Richard Wilde, I think, might almost be just saving his tires and watching these guys go fight in that Jegs car. You know what Jegs is, right?
No. Wait.
It's like a catalog that sells automotive parts.
Oh, yes,
I see them all the time, yeah.
It's like Argos, just for car parts. And
Sure,
American.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
In America, yeah. So
Well-
you throw the last part in.
Yeah, well, Argos, and this is basically turning into a cultural legend. So you can see the number 19
just-
car of
Oh,
racing
what just
is
happened?
ahead.
Yeah, Richard Wilde just blew by Chris Gooden and Daniel Kraft there, and now he's going on the inside of Ken Bracey. They almost make
Oh!
contact. They do make contact as a puff of smoke goes. I don't know where Richard Wilde got the speed there, but he is absolutely dropping the hammer now.
And also, Linus Bromstrong, Dogecoin is up into P number 2 on the racetrack. So there you can see, confirmation, Linus Bromstrong, we saw him a moment ago, just been able to blow past Steve Barker, and now he's got himself a 3 tenths of a second advantage. This tyre wear is starting to really get to some of these drivers. As you can see behind, we'll go Matthew Dalton in 4th, P5 Richard Wilde. Wilde is into the picture all of a sudden.
He is. He's absolutely blowing by. I'm watching what happened between Steve Barker and Linus Brostrom. There's actually a great save from Steve Barker there. That rear end completely lost it. Full counter steer and happy amounts of throttle, and he managed to keep that thing a-going, which is great on him. And so now Linus Brostrom is now in front of him. I don't believe he's going to have the pace to actually make the pass on that Chevrolet Camaro, but they should be up and up, so it should be interesting to see how these guys go further and as we close out lap number 54.
Yep, and to go back to the very important point I was making, in the UK, we still have the need for people to go into a store knowing what they want to buy, but first you have the obstacle of going to the world's biggest catalogue, which is laminated, plastic laminated, because, you know, paper tears, and you literally, it's an arm maneuver, you go, ba-dum, to go to the index page, find out what page number you want to go to, then go, ba-dum, to actually go to the page that you want to go, then you've got to write down a 7-digit number, then you've got to go to a little machine, which will tell you whether or not it's in the stock. If it is, then what you do is you get a pencil, and these pencils must only be manufactured for betting shops. Don't bet in America, by the way, unless you live in the state of Vegas, whatever, Nevada, that's the one. And you write down,
Vegas, yeah.
you write down this 7-digit number, then you walk over to someone who takes your money, then tells you to sit and wait for 15 minutes while they go and get it out of a warehouse. You can't actually just go and walk in and pick it up and go and pay for it.
So basically it's just a giant warehouse.
Yes.
Oh, okay. As Linus Brostrom, and I hope you're watching the Steve Barker and Linus Brostrom battle right now, the Dogecoin and that red Apple's Ale car. I don't even know what Enios is. I'm going to have to Google that. Probably some European, British person thing. But anyways, that a completely unsponsored car of Rob Reed, which I do like the paints actually on. That's a nice painted car. I like the 3 colors there. I don't really know. It's kind of a Red Bull looking color actually.
It's
now
a
that
bit
I think
like
of
a
it.
Benetton
Yeah.
actually as well. Like
Yeah.
early 1990s, 91, 92.
Yeah, that's. It could use if it was white. I think that if the yellow was white, then it would be more like a Rothman's. But
Yeah.
no, it's pretty
Well, it's
cool.
also a bit like a Canon Williams car actually, if you look at it in certain angles. Just again without the white.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if there was less yellow in there, it definitely could be a Williams car.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. It's
Or
got
a Red
chrome
Bull.
wheels on it, though.
Yeah.
It's got chrome wheels, so therefore it's shiny and very American. Anyways, so Steve Barker, during that time that we've been talking, has now creeped back up into second place by powering down that inside line. Obviously, he's getting away from that outside line as that's where his rear end kicked out, but looks like Linus Brostrom is going to be forcing him back up to that high line. Now, of course, Michigan, a lot of room to work. But it's just one of those things. We've got almost 3 wide racing between Richard Wilde, Matt Dalton, and Ken Bracey here. a couple of further spots back. But yeah, these seem to be the two battles going on the track right now.
Yep, right on board with Bracey as... No, we're not going to see anything from his rearview mirror. So we'll go back to an angle that's not in his car. But Bracey is back up into P4. P5, Richard Guade. P6 is Matthew Dalton, 3 drivers separated by a boot 2/10 of a second. You see that? I want Canadian there. Give you an update, by the way. Rachel Whiteford is out of the race, and she didn't even bother to say goodbye to us.
No, I think she might have had to go. She pulled right into the pits. I saw she pulled right into the pits there and was instantly gone. I think she might have had to go somewhere. Car looked okay, but hope everything's all right there. But no, actually, I'm watching through the blimp, and I have determined that through scientific evaluations that the blimp is a horrible way to try and watch a race.
Yep. Although it is powered by Goodyear, everything they learn making tyres to the world's fastest racing series inspires what they want into yours, Goodyear more driven.
More driven. Right. It's just not good to try and watch the race. Maybe at least with one screen. But no, that Rob Reed is actually really pulling away in that Camaro. He is doing a very good job just getting it down. I think the battle between Steve Barker and Linus Brostrom is allowing Rob Reed to pull away as we close out lap number 61. So about halfway done almost. As this is a 125 lap. We're doing American math, okay? It's fine. And so we're about halfway, so that's good. And Rob Reed's just doing a very good job pulling away. He's just putting down the laps. The rear end hasn't really been happy on his car, so he's just been doing a good job. Though he does, I think, have some side damage. I'd actually have to take. No.
We've got Bracey got away on pit road. It's Montrum getting very high there, so work themselves past the start-finish line. We will have a look then. There you can see Bracey making himself a pit stop, but he's got some right end damage that we knew about from earlier on. So here is a green flag pit stop for him. Second stop of the day. Firing it up as he works himself. 26, 27, second. Well, he's getting a lot of fire, flames coming out, but that's a long pit stop there for Bracey. I think his day might be done. Oh no, 36.6 out and away. Typical commentator's curse.
Right? No, I didn't think it was that much for the fuel. It didn't seem to take that long during the pit stops. And of course, they only pitted, maybe 30 laps ago. So obviously, maybe he just wanted to get some new tires and get that damage fixed. He might have had a brush in with a wall. That car looks a little bit more damaged than I thought it had. So perhaps some contact or a brush in with that wall. But anyways, there Steve Barker is quite under attack by Linus Brostrom here. Now let's see here. We said that this was the UK and I team. You said you had one. Oh shoot, I forgot what you said. Token foreigner. Who is that? Is there smoke on the track?
That was Benjamin Gregory. We're getting ourselves a replay of that. He's been in the wars a little bit today. The I does not refer to those. We can see the end of the incident there for Mr. Gregory. We'll get the start of this one again. Then as he works himself out of corner number 2 and hitting the wall, losing that car, looping it round. Very bad, dodgy camera angle. There you can see him, and he's carrying on again. That 99 car scored 3 laps down. It's Linus Brostrom, the Swede, the Swedish driver. Yeah,
I was about to say, of all the names I'm looking at, Linus Brostrom just does not sound very English. I'm sorry.
Well, we have got people like Fahimat Anides who run in Monday Night Skip Barber races. Mm-hmm. So we've also got Roderick Savidovic as well. That's
I'm not allowed to I'm not allowed to do commentary on the Skippy.
Why not? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There you can see Steve Barker. He's all of a sudden got himself a little bit of an advantage now. 0.5 of a second as we get past halfway distance. Are we past halfway? Yes, we are. Past halfway distance. So into the second part of our coverage here on RaceSpotTV. We're going to step aside for just one moment's time.
Hopefully it's going to be better than the first half of the
coverage. Who knows? We'll be right back after these messages. "20 years ago, Bill France Jr. imagined a time when online racing would be a part of NASCAR. That time is now!"
Like the country.
It's all in control of Brad Davies in that 11 machine. Green flag launch. He's getting banged up though. Now the 93 is going to push the 4 to Brian Day.
The 5th season of online NASCAR sanctioned online racing has been completed.
that the one where the winner gets 20,000, or does he only get 10,000?
I don't know. He gets flown out to Homestead Miami Speedway because there's thousands of dollars in prize money.
No. Like, I seriously think that they get, like, it's either 10 or 20,000. I think the winner, doesn't the winner of the, what is the winner of the World Drivers Championship?
It's Grand Prix World Championship Series,
Yeah.
10,000.
It is 10,000? Okay, because I think if you win the NASCAR series, it's 20,000.
I like how it's who will be champion. It was Michael and Conti.
Yeah,
But this is how out of date our commercials are.
Well, you know, it's been getting to be a pretty good field. I watched PSR TV's stuff a couple of times because it used to be the end of the race would happen just as soon as I get out of drill, because on Tuesday nights I have my fire department. Sorry, we have co-commentary.
That's what your dog thinks of PSR TV commentary.
Obviously, yes.
So you watch PSR TV's commentary, but you don't know who Tim Terry is.
Oh no.
He's the lead of the NASCAR series.
I got it. No, I got it now. Okay. I got the voice in my head now. I never. But so I got to watch the last 10 or 15 minutes. Right? No. So like I've watched like the end of the races. It's actually gotten pretty tight. The field's gotten pretty tight. Michael Conti, yes, is going to win. That's like saying Gregor Hooter's just going to win. Yes, he's probably going to win, but there's a lot of other alternatives now, like Martin Kroenke.
Is that car smoking on the racetrack, by the way?
I'd probably. We're still on commercials, so. What happened to Richard Wild's car? His car got caved in.
Maybe that was what they
Maybe. Yeah, he is. We seriously need to get rid of this Super Day modified commercial. It's the dumbest thing. I mean, it's a good commercial once every in a while. No. It's a good commercial. It's not like we have a huge repertoire of commercials to play from, so you just hear the music and you see it like every time.
Yeah. Oh, I found it. Why this one? When we come back to
Okay, they'll just think it's live.
yeah, we'll do it live.
Okay.
Okay, we're coming
Okay.
back.
What lap is it on?
Well, I'm just going to talk about
Oh,
it.
yeah, that's right. You don't have a good over there. Okay.
This was so seamless. The viewers will never know that we were talking about this.
Never.
Never. Hi, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to continuing coverage of the Club UK and Ireland NASCAR Xfinity Series here on RaceSpotTV. Going to show you a replay of Richard Wilde. We're going to ride along board with him as he gets his car all messed up. He's actually just made himself a pit stop, 42.8 seconds, but Cam, he did exactly the same thing, hitting the wall on the entrance into the corner. What is it with people today?
Yeah, I don't know. They're Ken Bracey hitting that. We're talking about Richard Wilde's accident, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe you're seeing something that I'm differently seeing, because he got that front end damage from when he rear-ended Ken Bracey on the exit of turn 4.
Well, I've got mine one from when he came into turn number 1. So combined, we figured out what's happened to him.
Right?
Yeah.
Investigative work here.
Yeah.
No, Ken Bracey plowed out of the exit of 4, and Wilde hit the nose there, and then obviously must have hit the entry onto turn 1.
Well, Cannon Barron runs himself in P6 right now as he works himself out of corner number 4. And he moves indeed ahead now of that driver. You can see there, the number 93 car, as these drivers continue to battle for P6, P7. You can notice as well, actually, a little bit of damage to the front end of that number 93 car. That's been caved in a bit as well, and he's Vauxhall Camaro.
Vauxhall Camaro, yes. No, that damage is quite frequent. I think it's when they get a little high and they just kind of tap that exit wall off of turn 2. That seems to be the collection point for car debris today, as everybody's managed to hit that at least once. Even I think the leaders, other than Rob Reed, has managed to plop the cars into that right there.
Yep. And thank you very much, whoever noticed on YouTube that I set this this broadcast up with such speed and grace that I forgot to type down the correct place that we're having it. It is indeed Michigan International Raceway.
Yeah, I was about to say, I just saw that.
There's no yellow walls at all, but yeah, we're at MIS as this battle will continues. We'll get that ticker running along the top of your screen. Once again, your race leader, Rob Reed, now has a 4.5 second advantage over Steve Barker. We'll zoom it back, and then you can see, actually, Steve Barker's got himself a 2-second advantage over Linus Bromstrong in the battle for P2 and P3. So it does look as though that Barker is going to be the winner out of that battle. It raced on for about 20 laps, actually, Cam.
Yeah, the battle went on pretty good there, but it looks like actually that Doja coin's a little crumpled up there on the front side, so I'm guessing that the battle was probably going well until he popped off a turn 2 wall there and did some front end damage. It seems that that's actually quite affecting the handling of these cars. I see a lot of people with that front end damage like that. The rear end's absolutely slipping out here as I think we are going to be starting to maybe enter some sort of pit window.
Yeah. By the way, Hugo Louise just messaged us saying that apparently, Cam, our conversations during the commercials could be heard. Oops. There you can see.
It's fine.
There you can see the number 93 car of Daniel Kraft. By the way, he works himself in P7 right now. We're right on board of him as he tries to catch Callum Barron. The gap between these two drivers is about 7 tenths, about a second actually, but we do know there's some front end damage to that car of Daniel Kraft even, and that really, on the track like this, which is high speed, and really depends on a tilt aerodynamic grip. Of course, we say it in a very loose term because this is NASCAR, but it does make a huge impact. Is that you'll be able to see damage to his part of the car.
There is still aerodynamics on the car. I mean, you got that little clear strip on the rear window there. I mean, that's right there. I'm pretty confident that gives you just as much downforce as a Formula 1 car, I think. At least that's what I was told on the news. But anyways,
Fox News?
Yeah, but I didn't want to go there. I think I figured out why Hugo was angry, because when we were talking about people that can beat Hugo or beat Gregor Hoodoo, we didn't say Hugo.
Well, he did come close, but then he forgot how to come back from commercial. No, he forgot. From commercial. To be fair, he did forget how to pit this past year. If you go back through any of the archives, and by the way, they're all on RaceSpotTV, you'll notice the amount of times say, "Oh my God, Hugo Louise, he's forgotten how to pit yet again." Of course, Martin Cronkite came close to winning the championship as well. And the amount of times I made jokes at Hugo that if he actually retired for the season a couple of races earlier, Martin Cronkite, his own teammate, would have been champion.
No, Martin had a good run. Actually, my first commentary here on RaceSpotTV, which you can also see here on the YouTube channel, is the Interlagos race that we had, the late season Interlagos race. Actually, the first time I'd ever watched a Formula 1 race on iRacing, and then B, the first time I ever did live commentary.
Did you just say the first time you watched a race on NBC? We're not that good.
No, iRacing on
you
F1
said N,
on iRacing.
You said N first. You said
no,
N.
I didn't.
You started with N. So, yeah. I just noticed, actually, there's a little bit of damage to Linus Bromstrom's car.
I was going to say, yeah, it's crumpled up there.
Yeah.
That's why I think he's losing off of Steve Barker's car. I don't know where he did it, but it's probably been like that for over 10 laps.
Yeah, so there we can see. It's really useful.
Doji Coin's crumpled up.
Yeah, poor Doji. Not wow.
Right?
No,
not wow.
Much sadness. And so you can see
indeed.
him down in the third place. Well, we've got Daniel Kraft actually coming to a stop to make himself a pit stop, so we'll have a look. Oh, he overshoots. Not as badly as Rachel, but still overshoots by quite a bit.
Yeah, I've noticed that. There's like been 4 or 5 cars that have completely just overshot their pit stalls, almost like the Indianapolis 500, which we just covered on Sunday night here on RaceSpotTV for the 16th Street. We had multiple cars blowing their pit stalls, including the eventual race winner, Brandon Trost.
He didn't win.
He didn't win? Oh, no, he didn't. He ran out of fuel. I tuned in. I tuned in just after I got to work. He ran out of fuel on the last lap, just like Robbie Gordon did. Oh.
Well, it was actually coming to the white flag as well, yeah.
The white flag?
It was Tim Holgate who won.
Well, yeah. Oh, that's right. Yes,
it shows how much people pay attention to. By the way, 38.5
I remember now because he had won 2 this year, and you guys put him into the same thing as Tim Gordon.
Tim Doyle,
Doyle, or whatever. I don't know the IndyCar legends of sim racing, so sorry.
There you are. Matthew Dalton, by the way, El Capitone makes himself a pit stop, comes back out onto the racetrack in P8. So they can see the Verizon Dodge car working himself back out onto the racetrack. Beautiful Verizon car. And it looks fast, just as a VUMP signs on there, which of course, if you've got Fios internet, you can have that too.
It does look very nice. I still do my my streaming through ESPN 2 Time Warner Cable just because I can do that for free. But anyways, yeah, that Mustang looking very good. Very nice looking car. I like simple NASCAR paint jobs. I don't know why. It's something about a simple paint job with a good sponsor. It just always looks crisp, clean, and professional.
Well, we see there that Dogecoin makes himself a pit stop. We've also got Chris Gooden, who just made a pit stop as well. They can see confirmation of the 2 times. Much quicker pit stops. I'm wondering, are they taking 2 tyres there? I'm not paying that much attention.
You know, I think everybody's taking 4, just how these cars are swinging around. I don't see why people wouldn't want to take 4. I would want to take 4. I wouldn't be comfortable outside of 4 tires, but I think it's I don't really know why the pit stops are getting shorter. Maybe, like I said, I think that longer pit stop by Ken Bracey there was due to damage, not necessarily due to fuel and tires. As Linus Brownstrom is actually fallen away. Oh, he went to the pits. Yeah. I figured it out. I got it. I'm on par.
Do you actually listen to anything I say? When I said that Dogecoin's car made a pit stop, did you pay any attention at all? There's confirmation one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Pit stop, 15.4 seconds there for Linus Armstrong in that number 71 car. Such merriment. As you can see, Rob Reed still leads the way, though. And
Linus Brownstrom is going to go. Okay, he tried. I don't know what he just did there. You might want to watch his exit off of turn 4. It was not a normal line.
Well, he was going very slowly down the front straight away, so that.
Well, watch what happened on corner 4.
Okay, we shall watch. This is down in towards turn number 3 and 4, ladies and gentlemen. The Linus Armstrong car sliding away. He caught. Well, he got something. He did something. Then thought maybe he might come on pit road. Thought, no, I'm good. We'll go back out and do it again. We'll get a look from on board of him as well. But not very wow, that one.
No, very scary, much sad, as he lost that position to Matthew Dalton, who is now past him for position number 6 on the field. As it looks like right now Rob Reed is still in control, as Steve Barker is in the pits right now, and
he's on the pits as well.
He does it right. He pulls into the pits, he corners the car away. He's doing it right. I like his pit stopping.
As Rob Reed's onto pit road as well to make himself
he is?
a stop.
Okay, excellent.
He's only a race leader. You should pay attention to him, you know.
I was looking at the second place car.
Well, you know.
Actually, Callum Barron is our race leader, thank you.
Well, yeah, at the moment. That's only because Rob Reed's made a pit stop.
I know.
Coming out of pit road there, and you can see it's going to be Rob Reed coming himself back out onto the racetrack there. Got another car on pit road as well. That is currently Benjamin Gregory as a 15.2 second stop there for Rob Reed as he comes back into circulation. Yes, go on. You
17 seconds?
15.2.
15.2, and that was 4 tires. So 4 tires plus a full thing of fuel in about 15 seconds. So, okay. All right. Now I know.
Now we know. This is how often we do NASCAR broadcasts, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, this is the first time. Also of note, his pit crew, their fire gear was neon yellow, and his race car is like a Blaine yellow. So, it's a fashion faux pas. No, I'm not. That's different color yellows. I can't do different colored of the same color.
Well, you see, darling, what you've got to do. Oh, you see that Callum Barron just overshoots his pit stop there. But he's going to get himself 4 fresh tyres. He will top up with fuel as well. You've also got Kevin Woods onto pit road, making himself a pit stop. Now, that's stolen from the World Cup, actually, that car. So he couldn't
pretty much. I like it. I like it, but his pit crew is wearing a completely different colors.
Well, he is back out and away onto the racetrack. There you can see there the 15.1 second stop for him, and he falls down the field. It is a 15.8 second stop there for Callum Barron as well. What that does mean is back to the race lead is Rob Reed with 40 laps of this event to go. Got ourselves a little bit of action going on. Oh, Michael Jones hits the pit wall.
Oh boy, yeah, we're gonna have to look at that again. Oh, the poor car. That's the one that we like too.
I know. It's not. I mean, the poor little Space Invader is now dead.
No, the smiley face is dead. The front end damage. It cranked the smiley face. Now it's a frowny face.
And there we can see. Well, I'm not quite sure what he did there, to be fair.
It looks to me like he just tried to row it up, and when he tried to row it up, it brought him back on the outside of that yellow line. Might be a little off camber there, and it looks like he just looped around on him.
Well, we'll get ourselves another replay because he comes into pit road very slowly. He's making his second stop of the day, so it looks like he was going to be the last of the drivers to make himself a pit stop in that number 1 car. Comes down on towards pit road. There you can see him doing so now. Being very conservative onto pit road, actually, compared to a lot of drivers we've seen. Then,
still doing it 80 miles an hour.
Yeah. And then you can see he slows it down, slows it down, slows it down. Super slow-mo replay coming time. And let's amplify this up for him. Kaboom.
I didn't know that amplifying was by mono. All right, anyways, look, that was just a very unfortunate pit entry there. Lost the rear end, and I don't think they're going to be able to fix that front end as obviously... Oh, no, they are. Okay. No, they fixed out that front end, and he's got his
Audi
4 tires.
pit crew time.
Audi pit crew, right. I'm pretty confident that, yes, indeed, the Audi pit crew is here today. I think that's why the fire suits are so off-color, because they're just...
Plain and boring.
Well, no, because they're all from different teams.
Plain and boring.
You're plain and boring.
Well, we know that one. So we can see 38 laps of this event to go. Let's go down then to see Andy Baker battling with Callum Barron, and this is the battle for P number 6 and 7 on the racetrack. Gap between these two drivers is 0.6 of a second and closing rapidly. Baker seems to be struggling a little bit here. He's his second slow that last time by, and Barron right up behind him now.
Yes, he did, but Callum Barron just nailed the outside retaining wall there. He just did the damage that has been striking every single car. He actually rode that wall for about a good second or so, and that Ford Mustang is, these Mustangs, once again, creeping up towards that outside wall just a little too much. As now, we do have side-by-side action a little further back between Ken Bracey and Robert Podgorny. As they are following the number 70 car of Richard Wilde, but it seems like everybody is closing back up, even though we've had a full set of green set pit stops.
After he rode the wall, did he at least say thank you?
I don't think he did. I think he just yelled loudly and probably said an expletive or two that I can't understand because I don't understand the language.
Well, there you can see him now up into P6. He's actually up 2 places from where he started. His last lap, a 41.178. Only 0.3 of a second slower than his fastest lap of the race. And there you can see Andy Baker as well. He is struggling right now. He is about a second off pace. And you see Richard Wilde is coming up behind him very quickly in the Jegs Mustang car as they work back down towards turn number 1 cam.
Yeah, it's just that number 12 car, I think the rear end is just giving him a little too much play that he would be comfortable with. I mean, these cars, we say these are Class B cars. They're hitting turn 1 at 191 miles an hour, all right? So it's not like they're going slowly. They're very fast cars, just not as fast as the Gen 6 cars. But even then, Andy Barker getting absolutely blown by Richard Wilde there. So obviously something is going terribly, terribly wrong with that car.
Unless he's fuel saving, and he's just not telling us yet.
Well, I don't know if you want to do that. I'm imagining that there will be a caution, though we tried a couple of good times to get a caution out. Oh, he's coming to the pits. That's why he hadn't pitted yet.
Yep. So 34 laps to go, and he is on towards pit road to make what will be his final stop of the day, pending disaster, doom, or anything else. So we'll get that pit timer up for you. 14.4 seconds. Back out and away, Cam.
Very nice, very nice. 14.4 seconds. Off and away. I like that right there. That's a good, nice, clean pit stop there. Nice entry, nice exit. So he should be okay. Now with these tires, he should be able to get back on track. Though he does merge on the corner, right in front of position 6 number car of Callum Barron. Barron.
Whichever one we want to call it. What are they going to do? And there you can see the gap, though, is 20 seconds now from P5 to P6. We are looking at the battle for P4, P5 right now, because Bronstrom had a very slow lap that last time by, allowed Gooden to go past him. We can have a look now from the rear of Gooden. Gap between these two drivers, it's about 0.3 of a second as they work themselves out of corner number 2.
Yeah, they're, well, we got a couple of good battles here. I'm talking about Chris Gooden and Linus Brostrom?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm on the ball.
We're on the same page here for once.
We are on the same page here. I just didn't know it. They're getting mighty close to that exit 4, and I don't like how close they're getting there. Linus Brostrom's already gone up there one time. I think maybe what happens is when you get that damage, it actually kind of claws your car up with the airflow. That probably just some Madden talking. If I had a yellow pen, I'd draw. I think you have a yellow pen, don't you?
Yeah, what do you want me to draw?
I don't know. By the way, can I just say that when you use the yellow pen, you have it like a really zoomed out image. You draw a really small circle. You don't.
I know.
You need to pay it. You need to go look up the master and John Madden.
I know who John Madden is. I do watch the NFL.
I know you do. You need to like point an arrow to the end zone and be like, no, see, that's where they want to go right there. That'll get them 7 points.
Right, he needs to go basically in that direction.
Yeah.
There we are. Although,
John-
by the time that camera rotated, he needed to go into the wall. So that wasn't a very good end to that piece there.
No.
We've still got a long way to go. There we can see. We've got ourselves now 31 laps remaining, ladies and gentlemen, here. Well, I hope you're enjoying this. This is our final broadcast of 2014, and if the brass at RaceSpotTV have their way, this could be the last broadcast I ever do. It is, however,
Right, yeah.
this driver leading the way. There you can see then your top 10 as it stands. It's Reed from Dalton, from Goodham, from Blomstrom, Barron, Wardy, Wood, Kraft and Jones. We're going to step aside for just 1 moment's time. We'll be back to the conclusion part of our coverage. You are watching, guess what? RaceSpotTV. Stick with us.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Sunday nights are IndyCar nights here on RaceSpotTV. We're continuing coverage of the 16th Street Racing League, which this week makes its journey to upstate New York and Watkins Glen International. And then this Monday night, it will be Skippy night once again, as we provide you coverage of the Club UK and Ireland Skip Barber Racing School Championship, the first race of 2015, here live only on RaceSpotTV. 25 laps on today's race to go then, and it is Rob Reed leading the way by 9.1 seconds, only one caution today, Cam. And, well, it's been a fast and furious race. A couple of people making contact with the wall. Only 5 drivers right now scored on the lead lap.
Yeah, and that's been due to such a long green flag stint. We've had only one caution rather early on. I think it was around lap 30 that we've had that caution. Rob Reed has been leading pretty much from the start onwards. Other than a set of green flag pit stops, Rob Reed has been absolutely running away with it in that number 22 machine. Unsponsored, obviously, so if you'd like to sponsor Rob Reed's car, you know, you can, I don't know who you contact, but sure. And then he's been followed mostly all day today by Steve Barker in that Enyos car, which we've been mistaking as the Red's Apple Ale car. I'm pretty sure Enyos stands for that. But no, he's been doing a very good job in that number 9 car. 9, a number that I like. That's the day I was born. So you know what? Good for him on picking out a good number. Steve Barker there having done a very good job, as that car does look very slippery, though, coming out of some of those corners. That has kind of been the thing of the day here at Michigan International Speedway. The cars have been getting really slippy halfway through their stints as the rears start to let go on these nationwide, or I'm sorry,
you can say the word nationwide.
B,
you can say nationwide for another
these
day
Class
and a half.
B cars here in the Xfinity series, of course, as these are the cars used in the NASCAR Xfinity series.
It's nationwide for another day and a half. Get it right.
Oh, is it? Okay,
Yeah.
well, whatever.
Because nationwide is on your side. Call 826-500 5555. I think I've just upset Cam.
I don't even know where to go from that. Chris Gooden there has been, he's actually up to 3rd place. He's been doing a very good job. He qualified in 17th, so to be up into 3rd place on the lead lap, very good running from him. Car looks good. He hasn't damaged the car, though it looks dirty. Looks pretty dirty there, actually, so he's been keeping the car at least clean from a bodywork perspective there, and following behind him is the 54 car of Matthew Dalton in that version car, as the E is now missing due to some front-end damage that he has picked up from clipping that right side wall there. And that's kind of been the story of the day, clipping the exit to 2. These cars get very happy, and sometimes even clipping the entry to 1. These cars, a lot giving people wide berths. And of course, now into number 5, the car that we really liked is the Doge car. The Doge car there, driven by Linus Brostrom, the one non-UK and I driver today. He's been doing very good, even at one point taking the fight to Steve Barker for position 2, but ended up damaging that Camaro on the right side, and ultimately having been slipped back ever since. He is now the final car on the lead lap, and then there's a bunch of other people.
Well, we have an update, by the way, as to what Enyos is.
Oh, what is it? Did somebody wiki it?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, what is it?
Well, Enyos is a brand Enyos is a line of engine oil and transmission fluid, and it's created with both performance and eco-friendliness in mind, and it's actually a product of the Nippon Oil Company.
Really? I don't know who the Nippon Oil Company is. I'm sure they have a different name over here.
Well, who knows? But yeah, there you can see Steve Barker.
It just keeps going. Now I gotta look up who Nippon is.
Yeah, Steve Barker currently running himself in P2, 10 seconds behind your overall race leader. As we have a look back, as you can see, he's got a 10.5 second advantage as well over Chris Gooden. But we have got one battle still to resolve, and it's a battle between Verizon and Doji. And, well, you've got yourself in P number 4. There you can see him. It is Matthew Dalton, El Capitane, working himself down the back straight away once again. There you can see him, and there you can see Linus Bromstrom right behind him, running in P4. About 0.6 of a second separating these two drivers as they come back down in towards turn number 3.
Yeah, and Nippon Oil, otherwise known as the Shinneo Soku Yakabayushi Gaisha Company, or NOC, is a Japanese petroleum company. So actually, it's a Japanese oil brand that makes those transmission fluids and whatnot that are sold all around the world.
Why have I got that Japanese engine oil in my Mustang?
That's a Camaro.
In my Camaro!
But, oh god, I'm looking at the Wikipedia. It's 1, 2, 3, and then the fourth one is connection to human rights abuses. We're going to skip right over that one, and we are going to go back to racing.
We know where the line is. We've already gone about, 7/8 of a mile past the line, but we're going to stop right about
That's
there.
alright. Hugo Louis is just going to come in here. He's just going to start punching people in the face. I don't know how, but he's going to manage it.
Well, last time by, Bronstrom was 3/10 of a lap faster than Matthew Dalton in this battle for P4, and you can see Dalton now taking the defensive line of 41.911 there for 697, 496 for Bronstrom, and Bronstrom is definitely catching as they work themselves out of corner number 2 once again. And this is going to be our closest battle, except for this one between Wildy and Ken Woods for P number 7 and 8 on the racetrack here.
Yeah, the battles for P8, 9, and 10 were at one point pretty good there as one car goes off there. Richard Wild pulling into the pits. This is definitely unscheduled. As he will bring that Jegs car in. I think they just have been doing too much damage to that right front. Multiple cars have had to do this, and they come in, they get their repair crews go to work, and of course we have determined that all of the repair crews are brought to you today by Audi, as these cars have been coming out crystal clear right after. As Richard Wild blows his pit stall. Yeah, well, that's been another thing that's been happening today, as his white and pink Warriors go to work today on that Jegs car. Just tires for right now. Also, the Enyos brand car was that's an actual paint scheme that was featured on Kyle Larson's Chevrolet Camaro in the NASCAR Nationwide Series.
So
I didn't think that was an actual paint.
That's why no one in America likes it.
I guess no. That's also it was a former sponsor of the Honda Racing F1 team, and so that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, even though no one actually cared about the Honda Racing F1 team until they saw the draw and then won the World Championship.
Yeah, which had nothing to do with diffusers or anything like that.
No.
It was all Jensen Button, according to the people. And oh god, I can't say that. I just thought about who we're broadcasting for.
But Jensen Button is
great
the greatest F1 driver of all time, isn't he?
No. Lewis Hamilton's doing a very good job. I like Lewis Hamilton.
Okay, Jensen Button is the second greatest F1.
Second greatest.
Actually, no, because you got to put Jackie Stewart, Nigel Mansell,
I'm talking currently.
Okay,
I'm talking currently. You can't. You start getting into that, it turns into a wiggling contest of genitalia, and I'm not interested in it at all.
Well, okay. He is the. Oh, is he better than Max Chilton though?
I don't know actually.
Oh, it's a tough one. Well, of course, as it stands, Max Chilton won't be running next year, so Jensen Button is the second best British F1 driver in 2015.
In 2015. He should actually, I believe, to go on a more serious note, I believe that the McLaren team did make the right choice picking him over, oh Jesus.
The toddler, Ken Magnussen.
Magnussen. I watched his father drive the Corvette, love his father driving the Corvette. I think he's going to be a good F1 driver, Kevin Magnussen. I do love how right after the announcement he posted on his Twitter feed a picture of Terminator in his famous Arnold Schwarzenegger pose with the sunglasses and the gun, obviously stating, "I'll be back," which is absolutely fantastic for a driver. He'll definitely get a drive back in Formula One, I think, when they get their financial things squared away. That or until they explode, either of the two. I don't really know what's going to happen with Formula One, but I just think that they made the right choice keeping Jensen Button. They're going to develop the car for another year. I think that this first year is going to be very important for the Honda engine. They're probably not going to be as good as Merc, but they're definitely going to be better than Renault and Ferrari for that matter.
No, we can see Matthew Dalton's actually now got himself a 1.3 second advantage over Linus Bromstrom in that battle for P4 and P5. So, go on.
You can't just interrupt me and talk about the race.
Oh, okay. Well, we have got side-by-side racing, though, and this is between Ken Bracey and Andy Baker, as Bracey's looking to the high side as they work themselves through turn number 3 and 4. They work themselves down the front straightaway once again, and you can see there you've got the two cars separated, and you don't want to go past that line, and he doesn't go past that line at all, as they work themselves back down in towards your first corner once again as we ride along board now with this driver, and it is Ken Bracey who has got himself now ahead of Robert Pagani, and that is the battle for P number 11 and P12 on the racetrack.
Yes, and Robert Podgorny, he used to race the Lotus 79. In fact, he might still race the Lotus 79. I don't know. I haven't raced the Lotus 79 in a while. But no, so he's a good familiar name that I'm with. A good driver there, doing good. He's about right where he started. Qualified in 13th. He's now up in 12th position, so doing a fine job there. He's actually falling back from Ken Bracey, as it looks like Andy Baker is now closing right up onto the car in front of him, which is not for position actually. That's Callum Barn is a lap ahead of Andy Baker. So actually, that's not even really a fight.
Yeah, but Andy Baker's being caught by Ken Bracey, and this will become a battle for P number 10 on the racetrack. You see, this is what happens, is I save you after all this stuff. I bring fluidity to these broadcasts.
You bring validity. All right.
Fluidity, not validity.
Oh, fluidity? I couldn't hear you over the engines.
Different concepts.
Yeah, I gotta turn my team speak up. I guess they've been quiet. I don't know. I think it's my end. There's a Nippon Oil Award. Oh, that's interesting.
Very nice.
I just looked over onto one of my 3 screens here.
Caution's out. No, we're green. I'll take that back.
God.
No, it's not my fault. My overlay clearly said caution, and then it said green flag. Oh, we got a car on the wall, though, and that is Andy Baker right on cue, and we all got confused, smashing the wall there out of corner number 2. He's going to lose a position then, 2 positions. As you can see, that number 92 car will breeze
I think he's going to have to
him.
bring that into the pits.
He's got 9 laps to go. Does he come on towards pit road? Well, he's staying on the high side, unless he's going to do an MCB pit entry, which I won't say on any broadcast ever what MCB stands for. Andy Baker falls back into line, but he's putting that pressure back on in this battle for P number 12. And again, another car hitting the wall out of turn 2, Cam.
Yeah, that exit at turn 2, very aggressive, I guess, for these cars. It's a lot of torque going into those those rear tires. He hits it again, and he rides it this time. Now he is definitely going to have to come in. He's done damage to that wheel. He's done damage to the steering column, I believe. Let's see if he's holding that wheel straight. Well, I guess these NASCAR cars, you don't really hold the wheel straight anyway, so I don't really know. But he's got to be bringing that thing into the pits. That number 12 will have to come down into the pit lane once again.
Except he doesn't.
No, he does. He's here. He's coming right down. He might not make it.
He is.
He's going to get a speeding ticket, but, you know, or a penalty, or, yeah.
Violation. He violated the wall, so he
shot clock violation with the speed penalty, something, I don't know.
Well, he violated the wall, so it's only fair that he gets violated himself.
Right?
For speeding, of course, for no other reason. As they can see, then the number 12 car will stick it with him.
Actually, he has gotten out of the car.
He decided, no more, I do not want to do anything else. So Andy Baker, former club captain for Club UK and Ireland, speeding on towards pit row, getting himself 3 points on his license, and, well, that was his limit. He's done.
Yeah, he decided to get out of the car. Obviously, the damage was too much there to continue. While he is here in Charlotte, according to what the race broadcast on the YouTube channel is, he's going to go get some hot dogs.
It doesn't say that anymore.
It doesn't? Oh, maybe I just have to update.
Yeah.
Oh, is that why my chat doesn't update anymore?
No one wants to talk to us on our chat anymore. That's the reason why.
All right, my last one just says yep.
Yep.
Okay, we're down to 9 people again. We picked up the 2 with the charades, but we're back down to 9. But that's perfectly fine. It's afternoon here in America, where everyone's working in their factory. Oh, Rob Reed getting very close to clipping the turn 1 entrance there, where other people have clipped it. I think Rob Reed's car is even starting to go away on him. Actually, we only have 4 laps to go.
Well, 5.
Well, if we're on lap 121.
Yeah, so we'll have 4 to go at the line. We've got 5 laps to go at the moment. At the line, there'll be 4 laps to go.
So, as Rob Reed completes the lap to start, lap number 122, which will give us 3 laps to go, I think we just have to say how good of a job Rob Reed has done here in the cockpit of that number 22 Corvette Chevrolet.
He has.
That's wise, because he's in a Corvette, he's in a Camaro.
He's in a Vauxhall.
Vauxhall.
He's in a Vauxhall, but yeah, he's got an 11.9 second, 12-second advantage now over Steve Barker. There will be 3 laps to go at the line. So down now to the last 5 miles of this race. And you say he's leading now by over 12 seconds over Steve Barker. Got to give good credit though to Barker. He had a lot of pressure early on from the likes of the Dogecoin car in that Enios machine. You can see Mr. Burberry is white behind him. And the gap between, but he's not for position by the way, Barker to Goodham is 11.2 seconds. So this field's really getting spread out in the last part of this race. But good job by Barker, but also good job by Goodham to get himself back up through the field. Well, from 17th up into 3rd.
Very good race for Chris Godden there, as he is absolutely coming away with it. As far as where people have started, now of course the qualifying, the number 1 qualifying car, Matthew Dalton's down in 4th, and everyone else is about where they started, just about. Jake Forrester, though, crashing early on, he qualified in 2nd, and the 3rd qualifying car, Rob Reed, is definitely going to come home with a win. He absolutely has been the ace of the field today.
He has, as they can see, Dalton has been running as high as P8 here today, as we can see, though, out front. Rob Reed working himself to get the white flag this time by, I don't even know where he is right now, but we're having a look, and as you can see, working himself down the back straight away, a lap and a half to go for him. All the battles have been sorted out except for one, and this is one between Ken Bracey and Richard Wilde, and this battle for P11 and 12 on the racetrack. Now, last time by, Wilde was about 2 tenths of a second faster, but they worked themselves down the back straight away. The gap is 6 tenths of a second between these two drivers. Meanwhile, this time by, the white flag will be in hand. One more lap to go for the driver that we know as Rob Reed in the Red Bull looking colours car that hasn't got a Red Bull sticker on it, as he works himself back down in towards turn number 1 again. He says interceptor on the rear, and he has been doing a good job of intercepting the field as he works himself now out of corner number 2 down onto the back straightaway for the final time. Give you an update on Bracey versus Wilde. Bracey has been able to put away that final lap as finally Rob Reed works himself down the back straightaway for the final time. In he comes in towards turn number 3 and 4 for the final time in this race. He works himself out of corner number 4, and it will be the Vauxhall Camaro taking victory here at Michigan International Raceway as Rob Reed wins in his number 22 machine.
Great race from Rob Reed. Rob Reed having a very good time of it, pulling away quite comfortably. Steve Barker coming home comfortably in 2nd over Chris Godden, started in 17th position, as that fight between Richard
Dalton's
Wilde
out of
and
fuel, I think. Dalton might be out of fuel. He's very struggling on this final lap, and actually Dogecoin is going to work to the outside of him as they come down out of corner number 4. It'll be a drag race to the line. Dalton might have it on the inside. He will have to try and take that defensive line. Bromstrom, will he get the job done? The answer will be, it will be Dalton who claims victory here.
I actually think Bromstrom ran out of fuel.
Yeah, Dogecoin running out of fuel on that final lap there. So Dalton was able to get out ahead of him out of turn number 4. Such sadness.
Much sadness. Obviously, he needed more Nippon brand oil or lubricants in that car, as Steve Barker has, which has allowed him to get in a 2nd.
Well, just waiting now. I believe everyone has worked themselves to the end of the lap, and they can see actually Kim Bracey just working himself past the start-finish line now in the Burberry car, and he will be all of the drivers now to have completed tonight's event, and that means we can run through your final race results.
But before we do that, we must say hello to George Day, who, when we said nobody was talking to this YouTube channel, said that he wants to talk to us. So hello, George Day. Hello, how are you? And continue.
So then, Rob Reed takes victory today by 12.9 seconds over Steve Barker. Chris Gooden comes home in 3rd. Matthew Dalton claiming 4th place on the final corner of the final lap, getting ahead of Linus Bromstrom. Callum Barron coming home in 6th. Kevin Woods in 7th. Daniel Kraft in 8th. Michael Jones in 9th, and Robert Begorny running out your top 10. And then to head it on back to page number 2 is Ken Bracey, Richard Wilde, Andy Baker, Benjamin Gregory, Jake Forrester, Rachel Whiteford, Chris Bull, Stuart Pomfrey, Jimmy Young, and Simon Field. And then we've got one driver, there you are, Darren Jervis, didn't really do anything in this race at all.
Yeah, ultimately it's been a good race, so I think we had quite a few battles as we saw Michigan producing good battles. A lot of people just unable to keep the cars out of that exit to turn 2, doing a lot of damage to pretty much everybody throughout the entirety of the race, but ultimately a good race, I think, and a good experience for these UK&I drivers.
Well, we're going to take ourselves a quick 30-second commercial break, and then we'll be back with the concluding part of our coverage. You're watching RaceSpotTV. Stick with us. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to post-race coverage here on RaceSpot TV of the third round of the 2015 Club UK and Ireland NASCAR Xfinity Series. We have got ourselves Michael A. Jones, who wins the award today for the best-looking paint scheme. Michael, great paint scheme. Not necessarily the result you would have wanted.
Say that again, sorry?
I said you had a great paint scheme, but not necessarily the result you would have wanted here today.
Yeah, no, it was interesting paint scheme. I just saw a run of it, really.
Well, you started here today. I can't even remember where you started, but you started in the mid-pack. You finished 21st. Move yourself up then 11 places to get yourself into P10. We saw you having a couple of battles in the first part of this race, but how much did that very, very long green flag run hurt yourself, and how tough was it on a very demanding and fast racetrack?
Yeah, basically I just felt trying to keep the lap times consistent in the 41s. I just struggled through it.
But of course, we've had ourselves 3 rounds of the championship. We've got yourselves another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 rounds to go after this one. This is Will Vincent trying to do math here. Do you think you're going to get yourself more top 10s? Or is this... Go on.
I'd like to think so. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Michael Jones coming home in P10 here today. Cam, overall, it's been an entertaining race, but Rob Reed, well, he kind of dominated the field, really, didn't he?
He absolutely pulled away from it, did a great job off the bat. Though Steve Barker was able to frog leap him a couple of times. One time in the pits, just overall the pace on track went to Rob Reed. Very good run from him throughout the entirety of the 125 lap race here.
And it was 101 laps led for Rob Reed, 23 laps led for Steve Barker, and a solitary lap led today by Callum Barron. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a RaceSpot TV presentation of the Club UK and Ireland NASCAR Xfinity Series here on RaceSpot TV. Myself, Will Vincent, and Cam Walsh. Hope you're having a great evening. We'll talk to you all next time. Bye-bye.